That was a big hill. Welcome back. We're going to go over the hill again, Morgan.
We're in the car. We're in the car.
We're doing this podcast inside a moving van. We've kidnapped the goblin himself.
The goblin.
Let me out.
I'm the van.
There's two other goblins today. It's all kinds of... Unfortunately, we've been evicted from where we normally do the podcast. Yeah. Casey's home blew up. In my home, I'll tell you what happened with it right before we went to record. And I haven't told you guys this yet. Our AC started leaking this liquid that looked like Coca-Cola, and then it smelled like piss. So I didn't taste it. I didn't do the taste test.
This is what's in these Sonic drinks.
I did want to see if people would drink it like Coca-Cola.
You know, I gotta say, like, not bad.
Not bad. I got a big sip of Casey's Coca-Cola last week.
When he beat me at blackjack.
I beat him every time.
This time we all have our own individual Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I have sweet tea.
I also have sweet tea.
It's just the one Coke.
Uncultured swine. That's what you are. Just because we're in Arkansas doesn't mean you have to drink sweet tea.
Hey, and just because we're in Arkansas doesn't mean you have to meet federal obesity. By drinking your Coca-Cola.
Drinking a Coca-Cola. Well, we have a special guest and this week and two goblins in the room. The goblins are Jacob and Natalie. You may remember them from a previous episode.
No, you don't.
Hi.
They don't exist.
They don't know what podcasts are.
We couldn't let Luke have any time to shine, so we're just being the biggest of assholes right now. Even though I'm going to kiss you on the face.
You may remember this behavior from their episode. They were like real turd goblins. You know, we talk about it in retrospect a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still keep having us back. I don't know why.
Did anyone invite you here?
To my house.
You're in my office.
This is...
No, we got the goblin, the OG goblin himself here today. We got Mr. Luke Weck.
Fuck you.
Got Mr. Luke Welch in the house. Say hi, Luke.
Oh, hi. Hello. How's it going?
We're here to talk about film.
Ah, okay. I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you'll figure it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think in my 4 years of college, I saw something to do with film.
Did you see anything this past week?
I did. Me and Isaac actually went to the movies together.
Oh yeah. Okay, I want to hear about this.
We had a mandate.
Yeah, we had a little bro date.
We saw No Time to Die.
Yeah, there was a lot of time to die, actually.
Yeah, the consensus is there was quite a... I mean, if Mr. Bond was worried that there would be no time, you know, over the course of 2 hours and 46 minutes, they really proved that thesis wrong. You know?
There was quite a lot of time.
There's quite a lot of time.
And you felt it.
Yeah.
I kept staring at my watch, and I was like, my God.
It's a very long movie. And also, it doesn't always feel like it needs to be that long. So my favorite go-to example that I told Luke about when we were watching it, this isn't a spoiler. There are going to be no spoilers for No Time to Die, don't worry. No boiler.
No boilers.
But there's a scene where this guy who owns some sheep gets a call, and they're like, let the sheep out. And he's like, why? And he's like, we're going to kill your family if you don't put the sheep out in the road right now. And so James Bond is like driving his car, he's like, near. And then there's like sheep on the screen for like a split second. He's like, oh, blow me, I'm going to turn right. But the scene setting up the sheep is 10 times longer than any of the sheep.
There could have just been sheep out in the road.
Yeah. I don't think anyone was thinking that much. But that's the thing with this movie, is that it's got a lot of explaining to do. It's got a lot of farewells to make. And it is a good farewell to Daniel Craig's Bond. Like, a lot of characters that have popped up in all of the movies, like, they all come back for this one. You know, this is a big reunion farewell tour. Spectre kind of serialized everything, because in that movie they were like, oh, Spectre, the organization, is behind everything in Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. And it's like, after a reveal like that, you kind of have to keep rolling with that. And I do think it's a bit silly, because in this movie, they're like, well, what if there was someone better though?
It really just felt like it downplayed like the previous films, and I don't know, it wasn't great. It's not great in my opinion. It's okay.
Have you seen the other Bond films?
I've seen a couple. I haven't seen them all.
He's seen Skyfall for sure,
Okay,
which I think that's the most like. I mean, I think that's the most accessible of the new ones. Although I do think Casino Royale is like the only one that like really went in on the like edgy, realistic Bond, you know. And I guess like with Jason Bourne being a thing, like they maybe tried to get away from being more gritty and realistic because like they didn't want to, you know, go in on that. But I feel like I've enjoyed it less as they've regressed towards being sillier and being more like classic James Bond. Like I didn't want that, but that's kind of what we have in the end. Is like Daniel Craig is a bit of a hybrid between gritty and silly, you know, it works sometimes, and other times it's like
it's fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Just maybe they could have trimmed most of it.
Well, how is the action in it? It's like, is it Mission Impossible?
Great action. From what I'm thinking of, like, there are some great stunts and set pieces in this movie. Like, there's just, like, several moments that come to mind that I'm thinking of. Like, there's... they kind of like doing Home Alone traps in the Daniel Craig movies, because there's a part where he, like, is fighting off these bad guys in the woods, and, you know, he, like... uses some like tow line from a car, and he like ties it around trees and shit, and he prepared. Really cool. Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a spoiler to talk about, like, to have your opinion on the villain? Because me and Isaac...
I've heard the villain wasn't that great.
Well, I never really got... Well, okay, yeah, no spoilers, but they never really explain why you don't like him. Yeah. You know, like, other than he's obstructing the main character in a couple ways that obviously is inconvenient to James Bond. It's like...
Even when they go through his backstory, you're like, and that makes him do this, why?
Yeah, there's no motivation. I mean, Rami Malek is doing a pretty okay job.
I love the actor.
Yeah, he's cool, and he's got, like, a cool mask that he wears, like, on and off in the movie. They show that in the trailer, but, like... Yeah, no, I don't get what he's doing, and I don't,
and you really don't hate him, and like, they give you, like, maybe a couple seconds in the end to be like, oh yeah, this is the bad guy.
Yeah, but that's it, you know?
That's it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't,
go see, I mean, I don't know, go see it though, it's the end of an era.
Yeah, I definitely want to go watch it.
It was still, like, the ending was good, I will say that. I really liked the ending.
Does Vesper Lynn come back to life?
There is a pretty prominent cameo from Vesper Lynn's grave. It's in the movie. Yeah. Like, when I say everyone came back, I do mean those who are no longer with us. Although, I guess now that I think about it, this isn't a big spoiler, but Judi Dench doesn't have, like, some, like, Beyond the Grave cameo again. They did that in the last movie where she was like, Bond, if I'm dead, I want you to look into this guy who I think could be suspicious. If he's not suspicious, I'm so sorry.
My bad.
I'm really gambling on this one. Also, maybe I'm not dead, so blimey.
I cannot believe they had the balls to kill her off in Skyfall. It was a great decision, but it was... Yeah, I was surprised.
I love that about the Daniel Craig movies. They don't have the
plot armor for
the plot armor for all the characters. Like, any of them could die in the movies, you feel like, and that's cool. That's cool.
It is really cool.
And they don't waste Bond girls like they did back in the day. Right. I want to say maybe the standouts in this movie are Ana de Armas. She shows up at one point and she totally kicks ass and she's funny. And the new 007, and this isn't a spoiler because they point out in her character posters that she's the new 007, and it's more of a technical thing because like James Bond retired, so I mean they gotta fill that. Like there's only 9 00s to work with. You gotta get a new one to step up. But she's cool. She's really cool too.
Dope.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Did you watch anything else?
Oh yeah, well, this whole group did. But I mean, do you have anything before we
get into that?
Yeah, I watched The Invisible Man. The new one. It's really fucking good.
Okay.
If y'all haven't watched it, please do. It's like, first of all, Elizabeth Moss. It was like totally in for this shit. She was like all there. She did fucking fantastic, and just the screenwriting, the screenplay is fucking fantabulous. Like, most of the time when we get these reboots of like old like Universal horror movies and shit like that, they're really bad. This one was really, really, really fucking good, and it's like, I don't even know. They don't even have to give you like, there's like zero exposition in this movie, but yet you understood everything that was happening, and I really like that about it. It doesn't feel overly long. It feels exactly where it needs to be, and overall, it's just a great time. And then I watched a really shitty vampire flick called Bit. That
sounds really good.
My Letterboxd review was like, this was awful. I loved it because I did like, it was fun, but it was just made with a very low budget, and the actors and stuff weren't very good. It was about a trans vampire, basically, like a trans person who gets turned into a vampire, and the person playing them was a trans
vampire.
Well, no. She actually was a vampire. No. But she wasn't that great of an actress, which threw me off. Really, nobody was that great of acting in it, but I watched it because I'm working on a project about vampires, so I was like, I'm going to go through and watch all the vampire shit, and I found that one on Amazon, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. It was fun. And then the last thing I watched was... what was it? Oh, I watched The Guilty. The
Jake Gyllenhaal one, yeah.
That is a slog, bro.
It looks pretty boring.
It's just, it starts off really interesting. It starts off really, like, suspenseful. You're like, oh, where's this movie going to go? And then it takes place in the most boring fucking setting you could possibly imagine, with Jake Gyllenhaal trying to do it justice, but the problem with it is the script is just so fucking hokey, and I didn't like it. I realized, I was like, oh, this is like a remake. It's a remake of a 2018 foreign version of the film. So I can't remember what country, but it was made in 2018.
Sounds French. I don't know.
Maybe.
Le Guilty.
Le Guilty. But yeah, they just remade it 3 years after. It's just bad. It's not needed, and it was a slog to get through, and I just hated it.
Also, Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't shower, so it probably smelled really bad on set.
Bad.
Pure acting, man. You wouldn't understand the method.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I watched. So
this movie that me and Isaac watched, and Jacob and Allie, because we watched it here, probably one of the most mind-blowing movies I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Have I talked to you about Perfect
I know
Blue
about
before?
it.
Okay, yeah.
I've heard it's like perfect.
It is perfect.
Oh my gosh, honestly, I need to watch it again. We were all like inebriated and something. Yeah. And that made it worse. Oh my gosh.
I was more interested.
I was, but my mind, I was like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Like, the entire time.
Yeah, this is the late Satoshi Kon. He did a lot of, like, really beloved Japanese movies before he died, like this, movie called Paprika, and then Tokyo Godfathers is one that gets brought up. It's like that trope where like three men raise a random like baby or something. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that it's good. That it's a good take on that story. And this is a fucking like crazy, like it definitely fucks with your sense of like what's real and what's not, and also the framing in animation form. It's just like immaculate. Like this guy knows some fucking shots. Like, God damn.
Old school anime.
It makes you really feel what the main character is.
Yeah. Like I don't think I've ever like. I mean, this is like for live action and animation both. I don't know as many movies that are as effective at putting you in the fraught headspace of a character like this movie, and that was really cool to experience about that. Jacob, do you have any thoughts about the Goblin boy?
Goblin Jacob.
I fucking loved this movie. I want to actually revisit it uninebriated.
Okay.
Because I want to look at it with a more stable mindset and not losing my shit every 5 seconds. But honestly, as it stands right now, it has the potential to be one of my favorite animated or anime movies of all time, on top of just movies in general.
Oh, wow.
I cannot hype Perfect Blue enough up for you. You need to see it. Yeah. It is a must-watch as soon as possible.
I'll bump it up on my watch list, because it's been making the rounds on Letterboxd. Like, y'all are not like some other people who I follow on Letterboxd were watching it the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I still need to watch that. And it popped up with y'all again. I'm like, well, fuck, I guess I really need to watch that.
I can't think of something that I didn't like about it. Like, it's just...
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely. It's incredible. Instant classic.
It's also going to make you uncomfortable. So, like, it's definitely not, like, for the light of heart viewer.
Yes.
I felt like it was a good Halloween, like, era movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, there are some horror elements to it that make it, like, perfect for this season.
And
Nice.
if you didn't know, Black Swan is based on this movie.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard that. Yeah, okay.
Darren
Okay, now I'm
Aronofsky had to
interested.
buy the adaptation rights just
Okay,
to
because
make
Black Swan I gave 5 stars. That's like a perfect movie to me.
Okay,
So
I want to
that-
see Black
I
Swan.
wanna
I
see
still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Black Swan is so fucking good.
All right, watch party, guys.
Okay,
Black
hell
Swan.
yeah.
Next watch party, yeah.
I've been celebrating the spooky season. I've got a couple movies to just talk about real
Okay.
quick. Well, on the down low.
On the down low.
A little down.
I watched 28 Days Later again.
Yeah.
That's a fucking banger. That invented... it's the movie that invented fast zombies, and, like, everything you see in it, you'll be like, oh, that's kind of old, or, like, they've done that. But, like, this movie invented all of that, man.
Right.
I think my only qualm with it is, like, I get what Danny Boyle was going when he, like, shot the movie on, like, shitty, like, home video cameras. But, like, it does kind of suck to have to watch this movie and, like, it being shitty home video camera. Like, it does make it a little bit grittier. But then I've watched 28 Weeks Later not too long ago, and, like, that movie is filmed normally. And I'm like,
Right.
why couldn't it have been like this? Like, it fit the tone just fine to have the movie not look like
Yeah.
shit. You know?
Damn.
I don't know.
Yeah, on top of the fact that the director, he chose to make the film like 28 days long, and so it probably took you a while to finish.
Needless to say, I mean, I had to start this shit in September.
Sequel
It
was
was
even longer.
awkward. I'm still working on it. That's what I mean.
I had to start that one in, like, March.
Oh, God, I'm never gonna finish it. But I hope they never do a third one. That would be atrocious.
28 months later.
That's a big time commitment. I don't know if I have time for that. But then I also watched Evil Dead 2, which I've never seen before. And I'd seen the first Evil Dead a couple years ago, and I really like that movie. It's very fun and gory and just so low budget, but like creative because of that.
Evil Dead's on this Halloween watch list for me this year.
Okay,
so I'm
fuck
gonna get
yeah.
around to them.
Watch them both. The second one is kind of a remake of the first one, so I was glad it had been a while since I'd watched it, because this felt like a retread of a lot of those plot points, just with like a bigger budget and also more comedic. I guess Sam Raimi was feeling like the first one was a little bit too serious, so I don't know. It's a fun watch. It was kind of overhyped to me. I feel like people have always said like this is one of the best movies ever, and like I liked it a lot. I just like I don't know. It's not my favorite thing.
Right.
You know, it's not something that I'm keen to revisit anytime soon.
Gotcha.
And I hope that doesn't get me hung on a cross.
By Danny Boyle fans.
Oh,
I just...
yeah. Sorry.
No, I
Wait,
was just gonna make a dumb joke.
you can always make that
I
dumb
was gonna be
joke.
like, no, I'm just gonna get you hung in your pants.
That boy
You
watched
heard it.
Evil Dead 2 and he hung
Like a horse.
on a horse.
No, I was gonna say I did read. Okay, sorry. I know it's a movie podcast, but I did finally read The Shining this year, the book,
Really?
and I've known for
Whoa.
years that Stephen King hates the movie, and so I've always wanted to know like
you know
what.
why?
Yeah. I know why. It's because Jack Torrance doesn't have a fucking, like, character arc in the movie. He's just, like, Jack Nicholson's fucking crazy
Yeah.
from frame one, and then
Right.
everything else from there. But, like, reading the book, there's a lot of shit that I've come to find out Stanley Kubrick changed just to fuck with Stephen King. Like, in the movie, it's a yellow snowcat and, like, a red, like, car that they drive. But, in the book, it's a yellow car and a red snowcat. It's like, what? It's so pointless.
Do you dislike the movie a little bit more now, or do you be like,
No.
does reading it change your opinion?
I think this is weird to say, but I think that the movie still kind of reigns supreme for me, because there's a lot of elements of Stephen King's writing that just don't do it for me. Like, for one, he focuses on a lot of shit that's not scary. Like, a big part of the book is that the hedge animals at the Overlook, like, move around and shit. And that's not particularly scary to me. Like a hedge lion is supposed to be one of the most menacing like figures at the hotel, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
Like, what were you thinking? And wasps at one. I mean, like the whole book has like a lot of wasp metaphors, and it like relates back to like the alcoholism at the center of the novel. But like, they're not scary either. I'm like, that's a normal thing. Like, I don't know, Kubrick added a bunch of shit, but it was scarier. Like, the elevator of blood is scary. The twins are scary.
That's
like, these things are missing from the book, and I'm like, honestly, I would rather be watching the movie
That's like,
now.
No, he added basically all the iconic parts.
He did. I don't think you can read that book without imagining Kubrick's version, and it's not the version that King was imagining at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys know about this, but he remade The Shining into a miniseries.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember watching like a promo video and him being like, I know horror. Be ready to like, well, this is horror done right.
And then nobody talked about it for years.
Like it turned out bad.
Yeah. If people talk about it these days, they say like, "Oh, that was a big oof."
They're like, "Ooh, that was a." Yeah, I don't know, man. Let Kubrick have this one, guys.
Yeah.
Let him have it. He has all of them. Actually.
I was about to say, like,
celebrated.
What is this?
Filmmaker.
This isn't a pity have. This is.
He is definitely one of the filmmakers of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of them.
He definitely has made films.
Yes.
And you know, so have we. So you know, like.
Oh yeah, good segue.
Speaking of one of the filmmakers of all time, I'm so glad that you did the segue. Yeah. I was gonna force it even more. I was gonna break some wrists to get to this fucking section.
I was about to say, Luke literally just opened the door for y'all, and Isaac was like, "Fuck you, shut the door," and opened it himself.
Isaac's like, I opened the door around these parts.
That wasn't my intent. I was just congratulating you on opening the door. Crypsis.
So anyway, me and Casey make films together.
Yes, I recently put all, not all of them. There's still 2 that I'm still working on, but 3 of my short films are on a separate channel now that I just named for myself, and I'm gonna put like a bunch of other of my film shit on there, like demo reels and stuff.
I subscribed to that.
I saw Mr. 7. Yeah, you Mr.
He's Mr.
Mr. What's so hard about this?
Mr.
Repeat after me.
75442.
No. Mr. 7544222.
Okay.
SMH.
Oh my god.
The easiest username to memorize. What's wrong with you?
But yeah, so Crypsis is up now. So if y'all haven't, I'll link it at the end of this episode. If y'all want to go give that a watch, that's what I did for my DF4 class, and
yeah.
I did it. I definitely did it.
You did it.
It is one of the short films of all time.
He
is one of the short films of all time.
Well, Luke, you were involved in this process. Do you have anything you're dying to share about the making of this film? You know, now that it's out there in the open, all the spoilers have dropped.
I really enjoyed shooting Crypsis. I was like, it's very scavenger hunt based, and you don't really see those, especially in like the short film genre.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really fun. I don't know.
Cinematography wise, Luke.
What
were you thinking?
What was I
composing
thinking?
The shots?
Composing these shots.
You were thinking what I was thinking. I gave you the shot.
we always make it
together. Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is the first time we were able to utilize a range of lenses because like we actually got the school's equipment.
Yeah.
So
did we use an 85 for Crypsis? Did we?
Yeah, we used a lot of lenses, bud.
I know.
Yeah.
But, I fell in love with the 85
Yeah.
millimeter lens. That's like my go-to lens. Everything Holy is like 75% of it is shot
in
in an 85. I just love it.
But there was just like a lot of freedom to use with like the 24, 35, 50, and 85 millimeter lenses that we've only been able to shoot in the past, like on 24 millimeters.
Yeah.
And then I bought an 85, and I just recently bought a 35.
Yeah.
So everything Holy got a bit switched up, so that was still fun.
What we're using, the Ursa?
Yeah, the Blackmagic Ursa. That thing is it's like a $6,000 camera. Probably not anymore. Probably when they got it new. But it's like 15 pounds.
Yeah, dude, it's heavy.
It was heavy.
Fuck.
I shot 2 films with those things, and you need to work out to be a cinematographer because those things get heavy, and then it's just a whole hassle assembling it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Roger Deakins? I mean, that guy is just like shredded.
Holding up a 100-pound camera. He walked the entirety of 1917. He walked and ran with a camera.
How do you think they made it one shot, bro?
Deakins is ripped.
Ran a marathon just to film World War One. Time traveled back to that era too.
That film wasn't filmed in World War One. What are you
telling me?
I thought it was a documentary.
No, and the cinematographer's best tool is like this app called Shot Designer. I showed it to Casey, and now we use it for all our films. It's like a bird's eye view, and like you assemble.
Is it free?
No, there's a free version, but like if you want to save multiple projects and like jump around, it's $20, but it's a flat rate.
Devices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you just pay $20. It's not a subscription.
It's
That's pretty dope.
It's so worth $20 because I've used it on countless films now. It's
how we did it with Crypsis and then with Everything Holy is we had either a laptop or a tablet that would pull a Shot Designer, and then we pulled up the shot list with it, and we would color code the.
Can we talk about the era before that? The first attempt of shooting crimes that we told Donna.
Way back in 2019, I'm sorry, Donna. She tried to tell us that we needed a shot list. And I was like, we don't need a shot list.
And us amateurs, we knew nothing about film.
Yeah, and she's like, every film set I've been on, they've had one of these. And she showed us. And I'm like, that's too much work. That's, you know what?
That's too much information. We know what we want.
She got so mad because she was like, she's like, you don't understand. Like, y'all are going to, like, fuck up somehow. I'm like, we got it. We fucked up so much. Every fucking scene was abysmal.
Well, first of all, that was, like, our first attempt of making anything. The first attempt of Crimes of Good Intentions was horrible.
It was bad.
But
the second attempt is better.
Yeah, but you know, it's still a cursed film. That
no one knows what it's like.
No one knows what this
film. Okay. Update.
4 years in the making.
Update on Crimes. Devin's really busy right now, so I have found a website that it's a subscription-based website, and they have thousands of like professionally produced music scores, and you can download the full track or you can download stems of the track, so you can download each instrument of the track. So I'm just scoring the fucking film myself.
He's actually just going to Ben Sound.
Oh my gosh.
Ben Sound. No, Ben Sound is for like high schoolers. Epidemic Sound is for like indie filmmakers, like actual filmmakers, and they've got
He's not a high schooler
so many sound
anymore.
effects. It's completely. What's so cool about it though is it's complete. This is not
not sponsored, right?
Not sponsored. But what's so fucking cool about it is that they literally have thousands and thousands of sound effects and songs that you can literally use for free. Like no strings attached, and like even if you cancel the subscription, you can still use them. That doesn't matter. Like,
so anyway, try this promo code and get this.
Type in "mom" when you go visit Epidemic Sound for 20% off. No, so I've been scoring Crimes myself, so it should be out very soon. Very soon.
That's exciting.
Grinding. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and how is making a film score? Have you ever done that?
No, I've never fucking done that.
What the fuck is that process?
I literally just
I get this song and I put it there.
No,
then it's done.
It has been so fucking hard because I go through the website of Epidemic Sound and I watch the scene that I want to score first. And then I have an idea in my mind of what I want it to sound like, and they've got like so many different subcategories, like moods, genres, tones, like what you're looking for. And I go and I just listen to the songs and I save it to a playlist on there, and then I go and download the stems, and then I have to basically edit the song to match the time length of the scene and get it to where I want it to, and make all the fucking fade it in, fade it out, turn the volume down, volume up, whatever. It is a grueling process. Probably the hardest thing about editing Crimes has been scoring that bitch.
It's also a 30-minute film.
It is 35 minutes as of right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty long for a short film if you've never seen a short film. I don't know who I was clarifying that for. That was like...
Guys, short films are short.
But they're not very long. They're still the short version of a short film.
Crimes was the first project we did, and it's the longest thing I've ever
We really
done.
said, let's shoot for the top first.
Literally.
We really did.
I'm going to interject something. Fun fact. You are 10 minutes off from the legal definition of a feature film. 45 minutes is a feature
Shit.
length definition.
I gotta extend those credits.
It was 40 at one point.
It was 40.
Crimes of winning an Oscar.
Crimes of winning an Oscar, yo. So my almost feature, it's almost out, but
yeah, no, Crimes has been a little passion project of ours for years.
oh yeah.
We remember
I started writing.
we came up with the idea together before I was even in Conway.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Yeah.
That took.
Because I started writing it in the fucking Chapel Ridge apartments.
Really?
Yeah.
Back
Casey-
in 2018.
Casey calls me one night and he's like, "Dude, I got a great idea," and then we're just like, and then he's like, "I'm gonna start writing it." I was like, "Okay."
And it's like that Rick and Morty episode. It's like I got a really great idea, but it's a heist film.
Yeah.
And it's just the same beats as a heist movie. But
Casey, I went up to him and I was like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, on other news, Crypsis actually won an Academy Award. Which is why I was finally able to release it on YouTube. Yeah.
That was fantastic. Wait, but it did go to a festival, right?
Well, no, I submitted it to a festival, but I didn't get in.
Oh, right.
You'll see if you watch the film why I didn't get in. No, I'm kidding.
It's actually-
No, I love Crypsis. I rewatched it the other night before I put it on YouTube, and I was like, you know what, this is banging. I'm proud of myself.
Bussin'.
It's busting.
Yeah.
I'm proud of Crypsis, and I hope everybody somewhat enjoys it a little bit.
I love.
We worked hard on that.
I love shooting it. Oh my gosh, yeah. The shooting with like that high a quality of equipment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really want to save up and get a cinema camera.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like $6,000, pocket change. But no, that's the dream, to just have my own stuff and shoot stuff like that.
What's the hardest part about, like Thad was saying
Oh my
on the
gosh.
last episode, he was like, it's easier now than ever with the technology to make a film, but it is still so
It's
fucking
so
hard
hard.
to make a film. Or at least to make a decent
You know,
film,
I was
right?
thinking about it, and like, you know, I bought my camera almost 4 years ago, and it cost me like $2,500. But I'm thinking like the investment that we've used that camera so much, and just not on our film sets, but
on
like
other people's.
Tyler's film set, back in the day, and then we used it for Nick's. Just about anybody we were friends with, they're like, okay, let's use that camera.
Because it's a fucking hassle to rent equipment.
It is.
UCA.
Especially
From
and the
film school.
and then the film equipment they give you when you're in the lower levels is not good.
Yeah,
They don't give you good cameras at all.
It's so bad. You remember we do projects? with
Oh
that
my
shit?
gosh, yeah, and they're like, here's your Canon 60D, and it's just like, wow, this feels cheap. Go take a picture with it.
Yeah.
We never bothered. Me and Casey would just go out and like, all right, here's our camera, let's go do something.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a good time, but I want to go touch on the subject when you guys asked that, like, is film school worth it? I don't think so. I really don't. It gives you opportunities to do what you want to do, but I don't like. Think about it this way: is what we learned worth $40,000? Can you say that? Because
Possibly.
I don't know. I feel like we could have learned. I didn't learn much in classroom. I learned like history. I really appreciated the history courses.
God, yeah.
Because Professor Corson was amazing. But when it came to like, okay, here's your hands-on courses, especially going through the pandemic and stuff, like,
Oh god, yeah.
we got undercutted so much, and I feel like I learned more about filmmaking by doing rather than being in the classroom.
Yeah.
And also just by YouTube and the fact that we're passionate about it. Like, if you are passionate about it, you're going to make mistakes. So you gotta make films because they're gonna be bad at first, and then you get good at them as you make them. But I don't know, like, you're not gonna get $40,000 if like you know, because like loans and stuff. But if I could take that money and put it towards starting a studio,
Yeah.
and then taking a couple master classes, when you consider the amount of money you pay for and the amount of money, like what you're getting out of, I feel like it could have been allocated to something more useful.
Film Riot is your friend. The YouTube channel Film Riot. They're honestly like in our classes they would pull up Film Riot videos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how reliable that channel is on like filmmaking tips, because our professors
It's
would be
good.
like, this is a great video about this. I'm like, of course it is. Like, those guys know their stuff. So if you really want to go to film school, actually just watch Film Riot. Like,
Oh my god.
Honestly, looking back, like, okay, our production classes, like, you know, they got harder. But, like, do you remember going through a screenwriting class? Like,
yeah.
just...
I mean, I learned nothing from the screenwriting classes. I learned everything I know from Sid Field and Robert McKee, man. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
I was about to beat you to saying Robert McKee. I was like, okay, there's two people he can bring up.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know, as far as mine go, I have a cinematography textbook that I bought that I keep and I read from time to time, and honestly, just watching movies, you learn, you pick up tricks.
Oh yeah, true.
Which
true.
I don't watch many movies. I'm more of a fan of TV shows, but you know, you pick up tricks from TV shows as well.
What is this? Mind over shows?
Right. It's film.
Why do we have you
Mind
here?
over serialized television?
It's
My
where it's
God,
at.
why did you sound like Adam Driver?
Just had sex. I'm about to watch serialized television.
It's the greatest day of my life.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
You guys, I'm sorry if you don't want to talk about Crypsis. I totally get this, but
No,
I was
you're fine.
wondering.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hacking in the movie, and therefore on the computer screen, the RB visual effects. What was it like making like fake computer graphics? Is that hard?
I'll tell you what, it could have been a lot easier.
If we hadn't listened to somebody. Somebody told us. Well, I'll let you tell the story.
Oh my
'cause
gosh,
it's your deal.
Yeah, I had to do the special effects. Somebody told us, because he thought we were tracking the screen. The screen was blank, and he said, put tape on the sides. That would have been good if the camera was moving. It was a stationary shot.
It was on tripod every time.
I don't know why. We weren't thinking. We were just like, oh yeah,
There's
this...
just tape in the shot.
He said, we put tape on the side of the screens, and it's bleeding over the edges. So we get back in there, and my professor's like, dude, you're gonna have to, crop out edges of the screen and remake the edge. Because that's you're not getting rid of it.
Remake.
I had to recraft.
Exactly.
I had to take the sides, recraft it. If you look at it closely, you can tell it's a little wonky. But yeah, I recraft the screen, make the borders, which I could have avoided altogether if the tape just didn't fucking exist. But that took the most time, was recrafting the borders. And we could have done something complex with the visual effects, but Casey screen recorded his. He set up that stuff.
I did all the everything you see on the screen that's happening. I just edited a video of it,
and then I placed it in the screen and made sure it looked good.
Yeah, and did the whole computer glow and everything.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah. It's actually,
it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's featured on my demo reel. It's this little wipe that shows you the before and after of it. It looks really cool. But yeah, that was a headache. I got so mad because I kept thinking back to we should have put tape on it.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried about it when we were. I mean, every time you make a film and you do something you've never done before,
Yeah,
you
there's-
fucking have a panic attack about it because you're not sure how it's gonna look. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad, but the tape was definitely the hardest part because it was crunch time to get those VFX done. By the time it was ready, by the time the cut was done.
I wanted to do so much more with it, but I was most of my time went to fixing that. Which is funny because when I took the visual effects class, he's like, most of visual effects is fixing things rather than planned out shots. And I was like, oh, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a time. It was fun though.
It sounds like a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie.
It definitely was.
I mean, I guess that's the whole process, though. You don't really go into any movie without doing a fair bit of work. We rewatched The Room last night. I forgot to bring that up earlier, and just that was making me think everyone here is doing and I mean we know this now because of the disaster artist, but you can tell everyone on set is doing their fucking darndest to make that movie, and it sucks ass.
Yeah.
But so much work. They have a rooftop set, and they've green screened everything around it to create the skyline. They've got a staircase set.
You would
there's
swear
so much.
that there was no sound guy on set though, because everything just sounds ADR.
It's true. That's true. Oh, I was thinking about it earlier too, because you were talking about your website where you get free music from, and I feel like the soundtrack to The Room definitely sounds like royalty free.
Right.
Yeah, that movie had a $6 million budget, did it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
That he
gosh.
financed himself.
And still nobody knows. It's just oh, okay.
If you had $6 million, this is a hypothetical.
Oh
if
my
you had
God.
$6 million, do you think you can make a Room level movie or better?
Yes.
Do you think you can make a movie better than The Room? With $6 million?
Do you realize, I figured this out last night, Parasite was made on a $15 million budget.
Wow.
That's actually really cheap for
That is super
winning
cheap.
an Oscar.
It looked like $100 million movie, bro.
No, yeah, and they have like those big fucking sets that they
Yes.
made.
He built the house. Or no, he built some of the house and the rest was VFX.
just like
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
Really?
that.
Oh my god, the outside shots of the house in Parasite are completely visual effects.
oh, dude, that's really good. No, if anyone's interested in VFX at all, there's a YouTube channel called Corridor Crew.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
great.
They make some of the best, and they have people who come in, they have the visual effects artist for Shang-Chi come in,
Yeah.
talk about, and there's so much more work that you think, because it seems
yeah.
like not even just the rings, the fighting scenes
Mm-hmm.
of the bus and the scaffolding scenes, so much visual effects went into those.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, Marvel spends the most out of anyone. When you see those huge
True.
production budgets, I think, it's fair to say 50% or more is just the visual effects.
Oh, yeah, because when they were talking about it, they were talking about green screening this shot, and basically what they go in and do is they go in with each frame and the edges keep doing it. It's not just a simple ultra key green screen. It's they crop out every little section of the arm 100 times and convert 6 months to a 40-second shot.
Fucking hell.
It's crazy.
As filmmakers, though, if you had access to a whole studio set with blue screens
Oh my
everywhere,
gosh.
would that be what your movies would look like? Would you use the big old blue screens?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, I wouldn't try to use as much special effects. 'Cause
I wouldn't. I liked the feeling of
that is where most of your money goes. So, but I mean, there's tons of movies because that just you don't have to bother it a little bit here and there to polish it up or to fix some things, but yeah, no, just making it look as real as possible.
I would love to work on a blue screen set, bro. Because there's so
Really?
much freedom in you just got to get a good VFX team.
I
guess.
would love to have a budget for a film one of these days because what everything holy was $1,000, $1,500.
No, not even. It was right at 1,000.
Right at 1,000.
Barely
Nice.
1,000.
And now you're talking about multiply that by 6,000
Yeah. We can make 6,000 everything holies in a
make 6,000 films, but having money one of these days, that'd be amazing.
I think for normally have indie filmmakers get their features made as they crowdfund, and that's I'm ready to crowdfund something because I'm ready to actually put some money into a film, some serious money. But that's daunting, because if you don't get all your money, then you have to cut corners on shit, if your campaign doesn't it's a good thing most of the time crowdfunding campaigns, especially films, always get done. They always get funded somehow, some way.
You got a good producer.
They get if you're networking correctly, right? If you're using social media to your advantage, 9 times out of 10 you'll get your movie funded. Up to $30,000 they can get this shit funded. But it is scary asking for that amount of money. It's scary asking for just $5,000.
Then it's you promised all these people a film, so
with certain perks,
with
sometimes,
certain perks, and it has to be at a level of quality that you've probably never made before.
Yeah.
So,
and if it's not, what happens when you need to crowdfund again?
yeah,
They're probably
no,
not
they're gonna be
give you money.
wow, the last time this happened, you made a horrible film.
Yeah.
So
Obviously filmmakers should be held accountable for the quality of their movie, but that is fucking terrifying when you owe directly the people who sponsored the movie a quality film. Even if you get that budget, who's to say that your vision is going to line up with what the poor sucker who sent you $30 was thinking that you were going for, if they don't it doesn't matter if your movie is liked by most of your backers. If some of them don't like it, it's gonna be your problem all of a sudden. You're on this person's in the credits, and meanwhile they're letting you know they fucking hate the movie so much. I don't know, that situation terrifies me. And also just that prospect of so many projects fall through not because of things that you can necessarily control. And so imagine that
Yeah.
You get funding and then you can't make the movie. What the fuck do you do? You're
nightmares-
ruined.
Exactly.
The nightmares of how many actors we've lost throughout our journey of making films is ridiculous.
You want to tell them about the Okay, we have stories for Crimes,
Oh my
Crimes
gosh.
2, Crypsis.
Almost every film we've shot, an actor has fallen through.
So, like, it seems like every time you want to do something, the people that you want you to help you find a way to fuck you. Like, I mean, that's a really, like, bad way of looking at it, but, like, it always happens, right? So, for example, first time we shot Crimes, fucking nightmare fuel, bro.
Oh my gosh.
I had actors lined up. I had actual college that were in the theater department that were going to help with this film. Yeah. All of them dropped out except for Graham Bell. And Graham's been...
we've used Graham a lot.
Graham's in Everything Holy, and he did a fantastic job. And I love Graham to death. He's awesome to work with. And he does exactly what you need him to do. And he was there. He was on board. He's the only one that didn't flake. All my actors flaked. We had a couple crew members flake. Didn't we? On the first Crimes?
The first Crimes, the people who were going to be crew became actors. So like, it was a nightmare.
There was like last minute casting decisions made. It was like me bringing friends that were helping me on crew to get them to act.
Yeah.
And that was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. On top of that, we spent $2,000 on the first Crimes.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
I forgot that the budget was that big.
I forgot about that.
Because
more than you've spent on your most recent.
Yes.
So it's what... Honestly, we've made that investment back with the equipment we bought. We bought the lights with that $2,000.
Oh yeah, so the $2,000 was basically just to get all the equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is
warranted.
Exactly.
Because we used it in like almost every other film we've shot since then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we spent it. We got a drone. We got. Did we get a lens with it?
No.
We got the gimbal though.
Got the gimbal with it. Got the drone. Got the lights, and got our mics.
Right.
From with that.
So the gimbal was the hardest. I think I remember the gimbal fucking up.
Well, yeah,
our
none
production
of
schedule.
us knew it. I mean, like I know that gimbal backwards and forwards now. Like
right, but when
back
we
then,
first shot with
my gosh,
it fucked our production schedule up so many times
just from learning it.
It was so bad.
We really were super ambitious, and not enough knowledge to shoot what we were going for.
We were ambitious about it, but too naive on how to actually get it done and how it look right. Granted, why we reshot it and
which I mean, I still think even though the reshoot's like a year old now, we've definitely learned more since then. I still am proud of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think with every film we've done, I'm really proud of Everything Holy. We have some reshoots coming up we got to do because of the green screen. But I think that's going to be a great film.
Yeah, I'm excited. I did the first cut of Everything Holy, and I'm like super proud of it. So
there we go.
I think, and then at Crypsis, we had our main problem with Crypsis was a fucking crunch, and the fact that it was basically I had like a producer, like a studio head, which was my professor, giving us. I rewrote the fucking script 6 times.
Really?
Did like 2 like completely starting from scratch twice, and then the other 4 times I edited it was editing it for time, trying to get it down, and then cutting out what like just the flow of it. And he was giving me all these like suggestions and everything, so I was like editing it to the point where we both liked it, so then we shot it, and then I was originally going to have 4 days, and we cut it down to 3 days, and so we had to crunch to get everything in there, and then in the editing booth, I was freaking out because I didn't like a lot of it.
Honestly, like, the troubles we had with it, was not expecting it to turn out as good as it did. Like, it came alive in the editing room. And a lot of films do, like we've shot some things where it's like, oh man, I don't feel great about this, but then you can save a lot of things in the editing.
That's why there's that famous saying like, we'll fix it in post.
Oh my god!
I never like to say that now, but I mean that's probably where that comes from, is because in the editing room a lot of shit can be salvaged. For example, in Crypsis, the shot of Jacob when he talks to Donna, where their cars meet when you go and hand her the puzzle. Yeah. That was a 2 shot of them both in frame, but since we shot in 4K,
4.6K
with 4.6K.
Oh shit, that's better. 5.6, right?
5.6.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, cinematographer here. It lets you zoom in 20% while still having a 4K image.
I wasn't gonna bullshit. I don't know.
Sorry, I know that doesn't like.
No, that's a good explanation. I'm sorry. I was just like, what is
It
does that
allows you
mean?
to zoom in more because you have more pixels while still retaining a 4K image.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So there was some audio troubles with that scene, and I was trying to re-edit the scene and cut out dialogue because the studio he was like, this doesn't need to be here. So I was like, why didn't we do this in the script, Mr. Studio Head? So we went and I had to re-edit it, but I had to cut out the audio of one of Donna's lines, but the only shot we had where it looked good was the 2 shot with Jacob. So I was like, wait a minute, we shot in 4.6K. So I zoomed in on Jacob, and it's still a 4K image to get the shot where it's just him.
Oh,
and
that's lovely.
Yeah, and Donna was actually speaking during that shot, but I covered it up with, we hired a sound guy that got like 6 different fucking, recordings of audio levels, so I could mess with the audio.
tracks.
Tracks, that's the word, yeah. So, yeah, the Crypsis in the editing room, I hated it when I got all the footage and was looking at it, but I did fucking 5 cuts of Crypsis before I got to the one that I really liked, and then I was really proud of it. Now, it's one of my favorite things I've done is Crypsis.
I think that it has definitely got you written on it. I'm starting to notice that you have director habits and tendencies. Yeah. This time, I was thinking about it when I was watching it. You love a montage.
I love a montage.
You love a montage. What's your favorite montage that you've made? I was just curious about that.
Wow, we do a lot of montages.
You do a lot of montages.
We didn't do any in Everything Holy. We kept that simple.
Everything Holy's like a slow burner, so there's no need. But, okay, so it's not released yet, but the crimes montages, there's 2, and I love both of them. The Crypsis montage, though, is super fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the you talk the couch.
Specifically all the blankets and coziness. It's probably the coziest montage I've watched in a while.
I loved those montages because like me and Casey were crafting them in the while we were crafting the shots, and the best shot I'm so proud of to this day is the one shot we took of the entire the heist itself. Which I would love to be able to be like, yeah, guys, go check out that scene. Like,
soon,
I crafted it. Let's do it.
Soon, please.
We have a was it 3.5 minute, right? 3.5 minutes is the one shot.
Yeah, I think it's a 3.5 minute one shot.
Yeah, it's no 1917.
It's no 1970, but it interweaves. We have all 4 characters like interacting with each other. They cross over. We go through the entire house. It's so happy, and to show that shot designer what we had drawn there, it was just a bunch of squiggles showing the actors. They were like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, and it just looks like nothing.
They were all like, what is this?
It's like, all right, one at a time. We rehearsed it a couple times. And
we got 2 actors here.
Casey fucked it up a couple times.
I did fuck it up a couple times.
He's just waiting upstairs. Like, we did the whole 3.5 minute thing, and then Casey's standing upstairs with the lights on.
We're like,
the house is supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be like nighttime and no one's there, and there's hair director up the stairs
in the shot with the mic.
He's like, what?
But fucked that up.
Part of me was like, man, we probably should have gone for another take, but we were so tired. But like the ending of that shot,
we got out of the house at 2 a.m.
I know. I can't help but laugh at the end of that shot because Donna falls down.
Yes. Yeah, and you move the camera. Like, I've been editing, and I saw when she falls down, you move the camera.
I thought something important was happening, and I realized she fell, and I was like, oh fuck! But then I couldn't jerk back, so I had to be like. Very slowly move back.
But it's perfect because as soon as Augustine says his line, we're moving back to him, and he's like, "Ready, boys and girls?" And
but I laugh every time because if you, I guess now everyone's gonna know if they watch this and watch the crimes eventually. But if you don't know, you don't really notice it. But then if you do know, you laugh because you can tell she falls.
It's so funny. But I mean, it was our most perfect shot, one shot that we did.
I'm not gonna lie, when you showed me the rough cut originally of that part of the scene, I thought it was intentional. Because it felt like it was hyping up the intensity because she was like getting to the box. She was just stumbling over herself.
No, she definitely just fell straight into a box of shit.
I'm glad that, you know, as an actor, having worked on different short film sets, I'm glad that you guys have your shit figured out in terms of, like, vision. Like, especially when you shot one of the montages for Crimes. I feel like from an acting standpoint, it feels ridiculous and like you don't know what the fuck is happening. You're like, hey guys, throw a bunch of these boxes, and you're like, what? What does this have to do with anything?
It's like, all right, hold. All right, add another box.
So
All right,
like
hold.
the thing is, I've been thinking about that for a year. I don't know what I can't wait to find out.
What were the boxes and what do they mean?
Like, I know from the script. I know from the script what it's supposed to look like. But, you know, like, as of right now, I don't know that it looked good. So I hope you know that.
Yeah, no, I think it looks pretty good. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's fun.
We have been waiting for this film to come to light for so many years now, and it just feels like God is like, haha, fuck you, you're almost done.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Here's something to throw in your way. Like, it just happened last night. One of the scenes got corrupted in the edit again, and I'll have to go back and fix that. But at this point, when I release it, I'm literally gonna have to have a director's statement before it to explain, you know, why there was the March 26th release date.
Oh my god.
And then it's now October. At this point, it's probably October 26th that it'll release, man.
Oh my gosh.
It's
don't say that, man.
No,
I can't give myself...
Say like November 10th and leave it be.
You know, for Crimes as a whole, we need to do a commentary and also put on.
I would love to have
There
a
is
commentary.
so much around that film
My
itself,
gosh,
with all your actors that dropped out on you, with everything that went wrong with it, to the original cut, to everything that happened on set. The's just so much
to the
that
plot
went into
of
that
killing
film.
Isaac.
Yeah,
And then everything after.
I know, right? Yeah. It's been a fucking...
Actors dropped out is a strong term for firing, don't you think?
Oh yeah,
right.
I definitely fired an actor from Crimes.
For unrelated reasons,
me.
he didn't even get to film the movie yet. I heard him say one time though, like, I don't even want to do that movie.
Yeah, this person was so gung ho about it when I was communicating with him, and then I later figured out that he didn't even want to do it. So I was like, oh, it's probably good that I fired. Well, it was good already that I fired him, the circumstances. But either way, I was like, all right, well, fuck that, man. I don't want nobody on the set that didn't want to be here. You know.
Oh
Hopefully, Isaac and Jacob wanted to be there.
I wanted to be there so bad.
It was a fun time.
Dude, you have no idea how
Dude,
bad
yeah,
I wanted to be
trying to-
there. Are you
Do you
fucking
not
kidding
remember?
me?
Jacob had work at 6 in the morning the next day. And he was...
Jacob and Natalie were both troopers. Natalie was our sound and boom op for Crimes. She did such a good job. Our
Like,
sound's so
They
good.
drove an hour to be on set and then had work the next day.
Yeah,
and then
crazy.
I remember like talking to Jacob. He's like, "I'm gonna make it work," and I was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much."
Dude was dying.
Y'all were literally coming to me, and okay, I kind of want to explain this, but I also want to save it for the commentary. But I'll go through a short little snippet of it.
Right.
When you told me that you needed me for Crimes, I was literally living in a shack, right?
Yeah.
So you called me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make this work. I'm gonna try to make this work. I still have work to do and all this, but I think with when you're shooting it and everything, it's gonna be tight, but we can make it work." And I remember trying to convince Natalie to do it with me. And I was like, I think we can make this work. We're gonna have to sleep here and here for like 2 hours, and then we're gonna go to work, and then we're gonna come back to Conway when we're fucking tired off our ass and still work on this movie.
We were both working 6 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah.
at Walmart. And so
Walmart on the top.
the first day we went, I think we were off that day. And we got there and we did everything that we needed to do. And then we spent the night at Casey's house. And then got up in the morning. No, it was Augustine's.
It was
Augustine's.
Augustine's.
yeah.
We got up in the morning. We worked from 6 to 3. We drove straight from work back to Conway. and then worked on the set until like late at night. We slept for 4 hours and then went back and did that 4 times.
Yes. For the multiple day shoot.
Yeah.
I remember there were different times that you guys were in the rejuvenation chamber for a little bit. Don't go that way. Jacob and Natalie are sleeping.
Yeah. My AD, Connor, like, constantly throughout all 4 shooting days is like, yo, we need to hurry this shot up because they need to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know.
Connor was our fucking lawyer.
Connor was your literal
sleep advocate on set.
Sleep advocate. Like, I was like, I know, Connor, but we need this one shot at 1:30 a.m.
With bags under my eyes, I'm like, no, dude, I got this. I got this look good. If anything,
God.
if anything, the bags probably helped. Because when we were shooting it sequentially, it was just, it made me look like I was actually wanting to kill
honestly,
myself.
y'all reminded me of like how much fun that was, and like I'm kind of hyped for this story to come out because I really loved it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. The fight scenes, shooting it,
Fight scene's dope.
I would love to
and it's
do
got a
another
good
fight
plot
scene.
twist. And I'm like, God damn it, we need to get it. Yeah, man,
I'm working on. Like, literally, it's all I've been doing the past week.
This is definitely the one short film I've done in college where I'm like, oh, well, post college a little bit, but where I've been actually wanting to show people. You know, like I think that's why I pressure you a lot of the times on the show. Is like, fucking please, please.
Every time we talk about it, Mauricio is so fucking ready to see it.
I am scared for Mauricio to see it
Because our poor boy has been like hyped for us on this entire project. When we told him we were on set for it, he was like, "What's the whole premise?" And I was like, "Okay, it's a one take heist scene, but there's a lot of other stuff going on with it." He was like, "I fucking love it." He saw the trailer. He was like, "Dude, you're fucking beating the shit out of a guy." He was for real hyped, and he's still excited to see it.
You brought up a point that we've there's a short film that we did that's kind of gotten pushed back because we role swapped for this short film. Our DF2 film, remember how everyone had to make one?
Jesus and Chili?
No, Daydream.
Oh
yeah.
I was the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
I was the DP for
Me and
Daydream.
Casey. Me and Casey have always been this tag team duo
with August.
And it's always been like I've been the cinematographer. It's what I've always wanted to do. Casey's been the director. That's what he's always been good at. But for our DF2 film, we've had to write and direct. Everyone had to write and direct a film.
Sorry,
I was describing the plot to Jacob. I was like, you were in this movie.
I had to like whisper to Isaac through mouthing the words, being like, "Was I in that movie?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I picked August to jump off his ass.
Yeah, you gave Isaac a pat on the back and threw him back in there.
You threw me back in.
Okay, I am proud of that fight
carry
scene.
Augustine out.
The Daydream fight scene is cool,
but that has some actors in it and actresses.
There's
some stories behind that. Anyway, that's the first time.
Anyway, I won't indulge any further.
Let's just get to the technical part. That's the first time I had to direct, and Casey was my DP. And let me just say, I hated every second of it.
Me too.
It was like in a parallel universe where like mine and Casey's roles were swapped.
Because it's a body swapping movie.
It's a body swapping movie. Because like the entire time, I just wanted to grab the camera. I just wanted to be behind the camera. And I never really saw myself as a director, and I had to like direct my actors. It was rough, but for it being my one and only directorial
film.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. Like it definitely turned out pretty okay. It's not great, but I'm really happy how it turned out. I really love the fight scene, how it turned out.
I go back to it once in a while, see if it holds up. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, I had good old Isaac be my fighting person and fought Augustine.
I've never had a fight scene on film before. That was pretty cool.
What about the Neckbeard Odyssey? You had a fight scene that y'all fought so hard to keep in, but it didn't end up in the film?
Oh, no, that wasn't like a physical fight. That was like someone
screaming
yelling.
Match.
Yeah, that was a screaming match.
Okay.
And that was cut anyway. So I've never... Even then, I wasn't in a verbal argument fight scene.
If you guys want to see Isaac beat someone up, it's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. There's also a Devin Savoy original score.
Original score.
Yeah. Devin scored Cheeses and Chili and Crypsis. And he's done some work on Crimes that I'm keeping in there. And then you used all of his like music.
Yeah,
like,
I used his music. Because we didn't have time. That was a time crunch.
OST, not original score. My bad. It's the soundtrack.
Yeah. We honestly didn't have time. That was right during the pandemic. It was literally the last weekend we were allowed to shoot before everything was shutting down.
Yeah.
Well, we shot 4 fucking films in 2 weeks.
No, I remember, bud.
Yeah. No, we did back-to-back film sets.
Yeah, I remember shooting
With Nick's film. Yeah.
Nick's film that morning and then my film that night.
That sounds like a crazy amount of.
And that was the day after we wrapped. Or maybe the weekend after we wrapped on Cheez-Its and Chili.
Yeah, no, everything was shot that weekend, and then school shut down.
Everybody knew the pandemic was coming, so everybody was crunching to get their films shot. And
we're just lucky that we didn't have to wait on school's equipment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a question for you guys if we're winding down.
Yeah.
Since
time to go sleep.
Yeah. Since I'm more like cinematography based, I want to know both. Fuck you.
No, that was in response to his going to sleep comment. I'm sorry, but then I realized, oh shit.
I want to know what is your favorite DP and the movie, like your favorite cinematic movie. Not necessarily a plot line, but like where you were
shot movie.
Yeah, where you were visually pleased by it and you were like, wow, this is shot amazingly. Because I have mine.
What's yours?
My favorite DP is Bill Pope.
Okay.
If for those who don't know,
Legend.
he has like a duo with Edgar Wright. He shot At World's End, Baby Driver, and Scott Pilgrim, and Scott Pilgrim's my favorite film of all time.
Nice.
He also shot Shang-Chi.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh, he
I
did?
had no idea.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he shot The Matrix and Spider-Man 3, the Sam Raimi
Hey.
version. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's my favorite DP. I love his style. I love his style of shooting. And then Scott Pilgrim is like my favorite film as far as visually appealing. That's partly due to visual effects as well, but it's just such a beautiful film. Baby Driver is my second because that, Kevin Spacey excluded. That's a great film that I love. Yeah. So what are y'all's?
Ooh, it's a Casey. Do you have one that
So
comes to mind first?
I don't know many DPs. I know there's a couple of directors that work closely with, a couple DPs. But I will say, probably just because I've watched it recently, like a lot recently, I keep rewatching like bits and pieces of it, is There Will Be Blood has some of the just like mind-melting cinematography. Like how every shot was able to be captured perfectly, I don't fucking know. But that's some like next level skill for your film to look as good as There Will Be Blood does. Like every single frame I think is just immaculate. Like that's probably my favorite film as of right now for like cinematography. Second would be Limit Pre, which is Contempt. That film is shot amazingly. So yeah, those are my two. I don't know any. Fucking Hoyt Van Hoyt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite film is also Citizen Kane.
What is it? Roger Deakins. He's my favorite. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I do love Roger Deakins.
Roger
Deakins.
If you look up
mind.
best cinematographer, he's the first of the list. So
Yeah.
Everybody knows him too.
He goes hard every time he brings his game. I love Robert Yeoman. He does all the Wes Anderson movies, and he's just got like such an eye for like framing.
There's an interesting conversation to whether or not you can tell if it's the director that is forefronting the style, or if it's the cinematographer that is forefronting the style. And you can tell by their works. It's like, okay, look at all this director's work. Does he match up with the rest of this content? Roger Deakins is definitely the type of person where it's like, I'm a big name, here's my style, and if you look at his portfolios versus his directors, his style is consistent. And I would say Bill Pope's style is pretty consistent as well.
Yeah.
But I would say Wes Anderson, his style as a director supersedes his cinematographer.
I think so. I think that they have a good collaboration going. I think also there are some really great directors who are also DPs, and I think Alfonso Cuarón is probably my favorite.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, not only is like Gravity a visually stunning movie, but like Roma is one where he finally was his own DP, and that's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. And also Children of Men, I think. Like, I can't remember who his DP actually was, but I feel like a lot of the vision in that movie was him. him. I mean, hell, I mean, if you get into his mainstream, like, Hollywood work, like Harry Potter, like Prisoner of Azkaban, that's probably the most visually stunning Harry Potter movie out there, too, you know? Like, that guy never misses.
Yeah, I'm mixed on Alfonso Cuarón as both with his cinematography and his directing. I have a hot take on Alfonso, but definitely Children of Men is shot very well. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing I'll say about that film, yes, and Roma, of course. Roma is shot beautifully.
So you don't need to say anything else about Children
I
of
just
Men.
won't say anything.
We all know.
I will say. I will say. I saw a video. That's what I was looking up just now. Robbie Ryan shot. He shoots a bunch of. I really don't know. He's an Irish cinematographer. He's done a lot of fucking movies, but most notably that I remember being blown away by the cinematography is The Favorite.
Oh,
he did The Favorite, and that
Lanthimos.
Yes. Oh my God. Praise be to Yorgos Lanthimos. Fucking love him. Anyway, but yeah, that answers your question. Your question.
My question. Yeah, no, I think those are all solid choices.
Yeah, hey, great job not being such a fucking goblin.
Hey man, I tried my best. What can I say?
Right.
He did try.
I
mean, also if
plug your shit real quick.
Yeah. If people want to see Isaac beat up some people, YouTube channel Luke Welch and stuff. Literally all my other stuff is called Luke Welch and stuff, with the letter N in between Welch and stuff.
I'll link it.
Yeah, link it.
You do vlogs?
I do vlogs. Just little stuff to keep my cinematography craft alive and refreshed. But yeah,
keeping the craft real. I liked your drone shot. And you know what? Let's talk about your creations just for a brief moment. I really liked your drone shot in the last vlog you did.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was actually behind the scenes of Casey's movie. Everything
like
only, not all things.
What?
Did you show your dad?
No, I haven't yet, but I saw it and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I had no idea that's what was around the cabin.
Right?
What?
I said he could sell property with that shot.
That's very true.
Yeah, no, like
it's beautiful.
See, like we grew up there, and going back, I was like, man, that just looks so good, and I was like, opportunity. I'm gonna show all this because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know, the drone shots in the last vlog were really freaking cool. Just seeing everything, there's nothing. Like if you keep going, my dad told me you'll find like a horse ranch or whatever. But, like, eventually you'll hit Mountain Home, but it's way out there, farther than the drone can go. But for, like, a good 10 miles, it's just trees and mountains.
Around that little mountain in the drone shots, we were about 2 miles from the cabin.
Wow.
Yeah. You could not see that tiny little drone anymore. But it turned out good. I really liked it. I wanted to get lower. I didn't want to risk it. Yeah. If that thing got hit by a tree or I ran into a tree, it would be gone forever.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
Well, yeah, really enjoyed it.
I think to close out the show in honor of the Goblin being on here, and because we haven't indulged enough goblinage, this episode, I think I want to go around in a circle, and I want to hear what you would sound like as a goblin to close us out. Casey, do you want to start, or is that nerve-wracking?
I want to make a movie.
It's just Marge Simpson.
I just want to make a movie, homie.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Luke Welch.
It's the Goblin.
It's the Goblin.
I gotta follow that.
Yeah, you gotta follow that up.
Eddie, I'm a goblin now. We're Venom.
Go see Venom. the Brown Table video.
What's the deal with goblins not getting the respect that orcs do? I mean, come on! I've been stealing gold from travelers for just as long.
Ew, I'm a goblin. I'm a goblin.
Hey, I'm a goblin.
Thank you. We live in New York.
I'm a goblin.
This has been Mind Over Goblins.
Mind Over Goblins.
We're all goblins.